me. I just don't think we're at where we need to be, but we got a little bit of time, and so every day we get better as a whole. We're a young team, but that's no excuse. At the end of the day, we got to come with the right mindset every day and come to work.
Honestly, if I'm a Titans fan, I love that, the way that he talks. Some very candid and honest comments, though, from Cam Ward. From a front office perspective, what do you consider a successful season for a rookie quarterback, Mike?
I think he's going to earn the job and have Tennessee playing meaningful games in December, and that's really all you can ask. And I think the foundation is rooted in how he takes care of the ball. Last year, 39 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Only Cade Klubnik of Clemson had a better ratio. And when you look at Will Levis last year, he turned the ball over more than any other quarterback. So he's a great fit with Bill and Brian Callahan. You look at the offensive line, they signed Dan Moore. They flipped J.C. Latham to the right tackle. So this offensive line, I think, will protect Cam Ward. With all the other things that happened in the offseason between Aaron Rodgers, a lot of the noise around Shedeur Sanders, this is like a very underrated, unheralded first overall pick, in my opinion. And I think he's going to play well. And to, again, answer your question, Laura, I think they're going to be playing meaningful games late in the year.
That'd be huge, right? I'm glad you said it that way, too, because I don't think we've given Cam Ward enough credit. All right, everybody at home, too, we're living dangerously here. We're bringing Graz back in. Let's see if his mic works now. Go ahead, Graz. He's back.
I think we got it fixed.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. To the extent that the Titans need to get the offense fixed, if it's very mid, as Cam Ward is saying, my understanding is it's about timing. They want him to get timing down with his receivers, and to the extent that he's had issues, interceptions, whatever in practice, that's been where they've laid the blame. The Titans believe that he has shown them everything that they saw before they drafted him in terms of his ability to diagnose, his ability to make good decisions, his ability to process. But it's really just a matter of time on task with the receivers. And as that continues to develop, they believe he has a chance to hit the ground running. Calvin Ridley, by the way, did leave practice today, but it was clarified later it was just cramps in his calf. So it seems like they dodged a scare there.
Yeah, what are we now? A week and a half, 2 weeks into training camp of the rookie season of the #1 overall pick. Look, there is plenty of runway and plenty of time for this guy to get up to speed. And I tell you, I feel like I know this guy better than I know anybody in this draft, considering how much I got to talk to him and spend time around him. Like there's this absolutely, for me, there's just no worry whatsoever that he will be able to master what he needs to master, not just this year, but over the next 5-6 years. He's got a lot of new weapons he has to bring into the fold. Obviously, they're all new to him, minus Xavier Restrepo, who was an undrafted free agent who played with him at Miami. But everything else is new to him. Everybody else is new to him. And this isn't the first time he's gone through this. He went through this at UM last year, at Miami last year. And he took the bull by the horns, and you saw how that offense played itself out, although we're not saying that the ACC is the AFC South. But this dude is wired for this. And he's got some big-time players now in terms of wide receivers and veterans guys like Calvin Ridley, like Van Jefferson and Tyler Lockett, but the rookies that they brought in as well. Look, Chimere Dike, who played down in Florida, is a good slot wide receiver. Elikiu Manor, who they drafted out of Stanford, is a big-time playmaker on the outside with big speed. So he's got a lot of things working in his favor. It's just now up to Brian Callahan to get it all to come together to where, as Mike said, they're playing meaningful games in November and December.
Yeah. Cameron Ward is just such a grown-up. Like they asked the original question to Mike, where they're just like, what would a successful season look like for Cameron Ward? And like I said in one of my previous Tennessee Titans videos, it's just you leave the season knowing that you have your quarterback of the future. Like that's even what Troy Aikman said, and that's what I referenced in that example when Troy Aikman really kind of emphasized that, and I 100% agree with that, and who am I to disagree with Troy Aikman? Like that's all that matters. And of course, icing on the cake is playing meaningful games in December and ideally beyond. And Cameron Ward, he's just such a grown-up. He's the maturity that he has. I mean, when I see such a simple interview like that, like the honesty that he has, like I love it, man. It speaks to me. It resonates with me so much. And the Titans obviously have been such a mess from both quarterback position as well as coaching. Like it's just been a mess, and now little by little they're getting more and more stability there. And yet you still had like the Will Levises of the NFL kind of leading the way, and it's just like, by definition, he's not a grown-up. He's not only is he not good enough, but he's also not a grown-up. Okay, And if you're not a grown up, then you better be really, really great. You better be able to bring it, or at a minimum, you better be able to just manage games. You got to just have like a decent baseline of like, all right, I can still, steer this ship in a way that's not like too kind of crazy. But when you keep turning the ball over like at an obnoxious rate and in an obnoxious fashion, well, then everything just gets thrown out the window, right? Then it's just like, what's the point? There is none, honestly, at that point. And so I just think that Cameron Ward, like, just the level of maturity that he can bring this franchise and the absolute importance you need at the quarterback position and how you can succeed with that. I mean, I really feel as though the Tennessee Titans had that before, right? Like, that's what you had with Ryan Tannehill. You had the grown-up. You had that leader there. And he obviously wasn't earth-shattering. He obviously wasn't this, like, just absolute elite monster of a quarterback. But it still brought a level of stability that shows you, okay, we can win some games. We can build off this. And that's often what you just need. You need that of a jumping off point. And obviously you're expecting Cameron Ward to be, levels better than that. But when you can bring both to it, it's just an exciting place to be. But this is also something, and obviously this can change in any given moment. But what I love what the Tennessee Titans are also doing is they obviously have a young rookie quarterback, right? A ton on his plate. When you get drafted as first number one overall, and you're going to a franchise where people are like, please save us, you got the world on your shoulders. And having veteran quarterbacks that are experienced, have been around, they're obviously not great. They're obviously not brilliant. They're not threats. They're not elite. No one's confusing them at all. But they've been in the NFL. And they've played for multiple coaches behind many great quarterbacks and coaching staffs and whatnot. Like, it matters. That experience matters. And being able there to help support this young quarterback in Cameron Ward, I mean, it makes such a big deal. I forget who talked about that a little bit more. I think it was Hasselback when they were talking about what they didn't do for Caleb Williams and kind of having that veteran, and what the Commanders were able to do with Marcus Mariota. And it's just like, being in that quarterback room, having someone, who's a little bit more of your equal and in terms of like, they're also a player. They're not a coach necessarily. You're going to just kind of share different things with each other. You can also kind of be a translation and oftentimes kind of like a bridge with the coaches and coaching staff in general. But, again, Brandon Allen having some experience in Denver, Cincinnati, San Francisco, and Tim Boyle in Green Bay and Detroit and Chicago. Like, again, obviously floated all around, but like, that stuff does matter. Like, I'm not telling you that, these quarterbacks are going to be there to like really be like, hey man, you got to make sure that your feet are set. And they're like, it's just having other grown-ups in the room with you. I mean, it really does go a long way. Looking at film, like I said, talking with the other coaches, and coaches will lean on those other quarterbacks as well. Like, they'll say, hey, what's Cam saying? Like, how's he feeling? Is he a little bit nervous? Is he a little bit hesitant with this? And did he have any concerns about, this practice, this play, whatever it may be, and like I said, you end up being a bridge. Like, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like being like a little brother and having an older brother, and the older brother is, translating for the parents. Like, it's a real thing that happens. And so even that aspect, I think, goes a long way to support him, to not leave him on the island and not have another quarterback who's only like 25 years old or something, who's also still kind of like, I can do this, I can fight and get a starting role too one day. Like, come on, like, you're not obviously having that dynamic. And so I think it's great. I really am excited to see what the Titans have in store right now. And I just think when you combine the level of maturity and how he's obviously unsatisfied, and he knows, like, all right, this is the way it's going to be, but we got to still put in the work, and there's some time. Like, I just think he has an actual realistic understanding of the objective at hand. And that is such a huge part of the battle, man, because so many of these players, because they've had so much success throughout their lives, like, there is a great deal of delusion, right? Tom Brady's talked about this. Like, a lot of players are just like, I'm just going to dominate. I'm just going to be great. I know all these other players struggled before me, even the Tom Brady's of the world, but like, doesn't matter. I'm me. I'm something special. It's a delusion. And, it's hard to fault them, because they've obviously had so much success throughout their life. They, like someone like Cam Ward, he's like, I became the #1 overall pick in an NFL draft. Like, of course I know what I'm talking about. Of course I know what I'm doing. Like, Cam Ward has like every right to be delusional and have way too much confidence. But the fact that he doesn't is it's just remarkable. I mean, it's a testament to who he is individually, the structure and the support system, family, friends that he has around him, his upbringing, his teachers, his coaches of the past. Like, you got someone who has an awesome head on their shoulders, and that is also going to go an incredibly long way. And when you can assess a situation accurately, right? It's kind of like when people like have addiction, right? It's just like acceptance is literally the first step, right? It's literally acceptance. I have a problem. And it's just like that, until you can acknowledge the reality of a moment, of a situation, you can't navigate it successfully and skillfully. And so just even Cameron Ward assessing the reality of the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, what do I need to do, what's realistic, what's achievable, all of this, it's rooted in reality. And when you're rooted in reality, you're going to navigate things so much more skillfully and successfully. And so I'm just... the more and more I hear it's like I'm more interested in the sound bites of him talking than watching him play, because the play is always going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some ups, some downs. Like I don't predict that Cameron Ward's just going to enter the NFL and just dominate from the jump. Like I'm not predicting that. I'm not predicting that he's going to just enter this league and we're going to be like, that was the greatest rookie season we've ever seen of all time. I mean, like, it's obviously possible. We keep seeing rookies get better and better and better each year, but it's just like I'm never going into it with that mentality. I'm always going into it with the mentality of just like, yeah, there's going to be some awesome moments, there's going to be some ugly moments, there's going to be some average moments. But the constant that I'm seeing out of him is his maturity, and it speaks to me, man. I love it. I really, really do. So I continue to be excited with every little soundbite that comes out of, out of camp and interviews and whatnot. But those are just my thoughts. Well, actually, before I say that, this man right there, this young gentleman, this expert, he was one of the few people that was really like, I think Caleb Williams is going to have some struggles this year with Chicago. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's too rich, because people were saying, will he be the first 4,000-yard quarterback? And he's like, I'm not sure, blah, 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 blah. But he was also, and it wasn't like him like being anti-Caleb. He was just like, this is going to take time. But with Jaden, he was like, Jaden's going to hit the ground running. A lot of success there with Cliff Kingsbury, Terry McLaurin, et cetera, et cetera. And that ended up being very, very accurate. And so now he's saying, Cameron Ward, man, no reason why he can't ball right now. So we'll see if he can be 2 for 2, Mr. Louis Riddick right there. So we will see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Cameron Ward? What do you think is considered a successful season for him this year? And do you think the Tennessee Titans can finally get back to playing meaningful games late into the season and beyond? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.